Bienvenidos a todos ustedes. Good morning, Vrindavan family. Supravat. Today we will have a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, chapter number 6, text number 14. Nashtyota gavaiva yasyava sebavanti brahmadayas tanuburito mitur artyamana kalasyate prakriti purushaya parasya samnas tanotu charana purushottamasya. Translation. Like oxen bound through the nose, embodied beings like Brahma, who are suffering in competition with each other, are controlled by you, the controller, superior to Prakriti and the Jiva. May the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord bestow fortune upon us. Commentary by Vishwanath Chakravarti. You are worshipped by the people. Why do you Devatas worship me? Brahma and others are under the control of the Lord, like oxen bound up by their noses. They mutually suffer through competition by qualities like envy. This shows that they are powerless, since their controller, Kalasya, is not like that. You have no controller. You are superior to Prakriti and the Jiva. Asyashi hitur udayashtiti samyamanam avyakta jiva mahatam apikalam ahu suyam trinabir akila pachaye pravritta kalo gabira adaya uttama purushastva. You are the cause of the creation, maintenance and destruction of this universe. They say that you are the controller of Prakriti, Jiva and the elements such as the Mahatattva. You are the year made of 3 parts, moving imperceptibly, causing destruction of all things. You are the Supreme Lord. Commentary. This verse explains the Supreme Lord mentioned in the previous verses. You are the cause of creation, maintenance and destruction of the universe. They say that you are the controller, Kalam, of the cause called Prakriti, Avyakta, which is a covering, the cause of the Jiva, who is covered by Prakriti, the cause of the elements such as Mahatattva, which are coverings made of the products of Prakriti. You are also the year, having 3 naves of 4 months. 3 naves of 4 months, with imperceptible movement, Raya. You are supreme because you are superior to the effect, the cause, and the Jiva. Bhagavad Gita says, Yasimat Ksharam Atitoham Aksharat Api Chottama Atosmi Loke Vedecha Pratita Purushottama. Because I'm superior to the Jivas, to the Brahman, and to the Purusha known as Paramatma, and even to the other forms of Bhagavan. I'm celebrated in the Vedas and the Smritis as the Supreme Person. Jnanativinandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militam Yene Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Smayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda. This is a very amazing verse. Everybody down from the lowest living entity under the water up to the Brahma, the creator of this world, this supreme demigod, all of them are tied into continuous competition. Wow. And with a lot of envy. No. This is a declaration. This is cosmic. This is, like you may say, what about big movies? Today we have all these Avengers and these movies like Rocky and others, and one kills the others, and one man can get rid of an entire army, and all these crazy things. You can always see competition. Who's going to win the competition? Who's going to win the election? Who's going to win the business deals? Who's going to win to get the position as the supreme singer, actor, model? Everywhere is competition, competition, competition. There's a very nice story about this. We have all heard it. It is called Snow White. And that story is, there was a witch, and she was very envious of Snow White, because Snow White was such an innocent and pure girl that everybody went like, wow. And the witch was really envious. He said, I have to kill this girl. And the witch, she had a mirror, and she would always say, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most beautiful of all? And the mirror used to say, you are the most beautiful. And then she was satisfied. But one day she said, you may be beautiful, but Snow White is totally another story. Who's that? Who is this Snow White? Let me get rid of her. Now, it sounds like a little children's story. Hey, wait a second. This is the reality of this world. Here we are competing. We are competing for man, for woman, like men want to control the women. Women want to control the man. This is another big, big story. Even the competition is going on inside the marriage. Not even that most intimate part of a family is free. The children, oh, forget these children. They are terrible. I had beautiful brothers and sisters. I cannot complain about them. They were really wonderful. But we would always fight. We were so envious of each other. Why you got this? Why mother give you more attention than me? Why this? When there was Christmas, then everybody did not look at his gifts. They looked at the size of the boxes of the gifts of the others and became envious. The children, we children, I talk about us because why talk about others? There was so much fighting and so much envy for everything. Even at the time of eating, father and mother always provide enough food for everybody, but still there's envy. Envy and competition marks this material world. And it gives us so much pain. Sometimes we become envious of the spiritual master. Why is he giving instructions and others are following? Why is he given a garland and not me? I mean, this is always there, this kind of, I feel uneasy. I feel other people are more privileged than me, and I'm envious of it, and I'm feeling unhappy. Oh, it is such a terrible thing. Even Lord Brahma has this trouble, Lord Indra has this trouble. Indra is famous for it. Indra is always, when any yogi becomes very powerful, Indra sends a beautiful damsel, an apsara, to make the yogi fall down so that he cannot compete with him as Indra. And what about the bull or the oxen? Yes, the oxen is so powerful. You hear them when they put their sound, no? Here am I, here am the big oxen. But when they have a string through the nose with a metal ring, then a little girl comes and takes the string and pulls the big oxen. He goes, he just follows the little girl because this is so painful in the nose that the oxen will do anything somebody will want him to do, because he can cause this incredible, maybe if you would have a ring in the nose and somebody would pull on it and it goes, then you will understand what the oxen feels like. He's very big and powerful, but he's rendered completely submissive by the pain in the nose. And the same thing they do with the elephants. The elephants in the circus, they torture them, and then the elephant does all kinds of funny, stupid movements in the circus, and the people say, oh, great number, great number, great number, but all they saw was an absolutely tortured elephant, because this elephant has no business to go into a circus and to make stupid exercises for stupid audiences. No. The elephant belongs in the jungle. He's happy with his family in the jungle. Elephants are very family conscious, like everybody is. Practically all living beings are conscious and protective of their own father, mother, brother, and so. But it is between that and between envy and competition. So here this verse is saying, here my Lord, you are beyond this. That's different, and that's why the solution to all these problems is to establish our relationship with the Supreme Lord. Whether you are married or whether you are a sannyasi or brahmachari, you have to live for the pleasure of Krishna. That is the whole key. And if you are married, then you give your wife and children to Krishna as well, with great love. Otherwise, if you think my wife and she does what I say, or vice versa, I have this man, he has to do what I say, not what his guru says. No. He now is my husband, and now he has to follow me. And sometimes big fights come. Many families go into problem because a competition between I control you, or you are controlled by Krishna and the Guru. I tell you, there's so much competition going on in this world. And sometimes things which look sweet in the beginning, they become sour very quickly. And then we see, I mean, you know, sometimes families split regardless that there's children, regardless that there's minors who need father and mother together, but the ego of competition is so, never again. Not with you. Leave me alone. I go this way, you go that way. And sometimes they take and they want to pull the child apart. No, he goes with me. No, he goes with me. And then, you know, for a child, the only thing worshipable for him in the beginning is father and mother. Then mother says father is bad, father says mother is bad, and the child goes, where I'm going to take, how I'm going to think, how I'm going to digest these horrible circumstances. So this verse is so revealing, so revealing that this competition is going on everywhere. Even Brahma is suffering from it. Brahma, why should Brahma suffer? Because there's other Brahmas. And there's other Brahmas who are bigger than him. And then he says, oh, if there's many Brahmas, maybe somebody's going to take my Brahma position away from me. You know, today you're Brahma and tomorrow you are working in some tailor shop or something. There's so much difficulty. You can come from the highest, you can go to the lowest. It can happen overnight. In 1 second, you can be Purna Mushiko Baba. Today you were honored, and tomorrow you're a mouse again. We have that famous story which we always tell about Purna Mushiko Baba. That was the mouse who wanted to become a cat, then she wanted to become a dog, then she wanted to become a tiger, and then she wanted to eat the person, the yogi, who facilitated all these changes. And then the yogi said, enough is enough. Except a servant of the Lord. Don't get any different idea. You are the servant. Now you do your service. And to say it very bluntly, shut up. Of course, if you say something beautiful, then you can talk. But if you're just going to complain, just if you're going to accuse, just if you're going to make all kinds of justification for your envious or whatever position, it is better to shut up. I'm talking here only on behalf of my spiritual master and his wish that we should study the books together every day. Following your dharma, following your ashram duties, doing your austerities, whatever it means for you. That is each and every one for us to figure out by himself. What is my duty in this world? Of course, we have lots of instructions in this regard, but you can also see there's a lot of freedom. But the freedom is only there so that you surrender your freedom. You have the freedom to surrender your freedom. You don't have the freedom to do nonsense. Of course, freedom means you can also do nonsense. common cause or the supreme enjoyer, and we are just the sevakas, the trustees, or here in India they call the servant in the temple, he is a sevite. So if you're the sevite in the temple, you may have the authority to make decisions about how the donations are going to be spent. But you have no right to say, now these donations I will spend for my sense gratification. If you do that, you are committing offense and it will be chastised. Because before Krishna, you cannot do anything which goes undiscovered. Everything is open. Sooner or later, Krishna will show your glories or your weaknesses. And in this way, you purify yourself. But what to do? Only thing we can say, only thing we can do is follow the pure devotees, follow Srila Prabhupada, repeat what he says, do as he showed with his example. Great inner joy that whatever I bought or whatever I was involved in obtaining was from the Lord's devotees, and it's still in the hands of the Lord's devotee, and I may die any second, does not matter, because it will be kept in the hands of the Lord's devotee who want to go on and serve Krishna. So I think it's very important, because last but not least, even the things, some people say I'm the owner of that. That's also not true, because it's Krishna who's the only owner of anything in this world. So, considering all this information of this incredible envy competition, it's an unending envy competition. So we have only one chance. Krishna save me, Krishna save me, Krishna save me, Krishna save me. I do not want to compete with any man or any woman. I do not want to dissatisfy any man or any woman in this world either. I only want to serve you, my Lord. I want to please you. Because only by pleasing you, my own position is acceptable, is proportionally accommodated according to what you want. So Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Kanai, be merciful to me and steal me away from my own mind, steal me away from my own devious intelligence, and put me at the lotus feet of your devotees, because I know you like that. You like to put people at the feet of your devotees. So I also want to stay there. I cannot claim the right to be at your lotus feet. No, that is not my position. I can only pray to be at the lotus feet of your devotees. Because at the feet of your devotees, you are residing yourself. Krishna himself wants to serve his devotees, you know that. So if you serve the devotees, and that is also happening in our Vaishnava family, even to the point that we become very attached to each other, because we're serving each other, and in this attachment, one becomes first very happy, but then sometimes also some mood enters where you become too attached, and maybe you forget that my service to this person is a service to Krishna, is not a service for me to get some direct reciprocation, or like say some pleasure exchange or anything like that. No, it is all for the pleasure of Krishna. In the material world, you have this competition and this business negotiation. okay, I marry you, but only if you give me this and this and this. Especially in India, when they have the arranged marriages, it's a big business. Before anything is talked about marriage, let me see how many bangles I get, how much gold, where the car or a house is there. What am I going to get for this? It's incredible. In India, it's actually very bad, because sometimes people do this just for business, not because they want their son to marry this girl. They just want to have the money from this exchange, and later they torture the girl so that she runs away. Sometimes they even kill her. So this is so ugly horror. Of course, this is the Kali Yuga, total Kali Yuga. So, but the thing is that we are all belonging to Krishna. So we should always serve him and his devotees from the freedom of our heart. That will make things appropriately. So, therefore it is so important that we always stay under the shelter of the guidance of a pure devotee. Because a pure devotee will, when he sees that people are getting too entangled, and like sometimes devotees get too entangled with each other. Sometimes they have oppositions, sometimes they have jealousness, sometimes they have frictions, sometimes they're getting unhappily enamored, falling in love and not being reciprocated, and all these kinds of things. Yeah, of course that happens in a Vaishnava community, because we're human beings, last not least. So therefore it is all a natural flow, these things happen, but we also know, or Krishna and the Guru knows that, we should be top and foremost attached to Krishna. Tell me that, how to become attached to Krishna. There is a shloka which says, Yena tena prakarena mana Krishna niveshaya. The first and foremost of all instructions is be attached to Krishna. Secondary rules and regulations can then be introduced gradually. So in relationship this also goes. First and foremost be attached to Krishna. Then the relationship with the other devotees can be adjusted. Oh, this is a very good devotee, very nice, very good friend. Sometimes people work together for years happily. But somebody asked me why you have 25 temples in Bogota or something like that. And the answer was, because there's so many big leaders here, they just don't get along with each other. Otherwise we could have 2 or 1 big temple, all of us together, and do something like this, but no. And I like it better when everything is naturally attending the inner call. This inner call is individual. Everybody feels an inner call. Somebody wants to be a leader, then he should lead. And if he is not a good leader, then he should learn how to lead better by maybe sometimes making some mistakes also. But he should anyway lead, and those who give him chance to lead, they're actually his gurus. That's why the guru is a teacher of his disciples. He's a servant of his disciples. Because the disciple, he teaches the guru how to be a good guru. The devotee in the temple teaches the temple president how to be a good temple president. This is clearly recognized. So we should be very cautious and very enthusiastic to do things right and always learn what's the next lesson to be learned. And there are so many lessons to be learned. To really, really understand and to follow Sanatana Dharma perfectly, that requires very, very much surrender. And that's what we are trying to pray for, that we will get energy enough to be able to do the service which is required from us to do. Anyhow, with this I close my words. Any questions you have? I found this verse of the Bhagavatam incredible. Competition and envy going on everywhere. So don't be surprised when you find competition and envy. But when you find cooperation and solidarity and the desire to help each other, then you should understand this is the influence of pure devotion. Some pure devotion was here to influence this thing like this. The rest is just the test to pass. Yes?
Say there are 25 temples in the world, so 25 years. Do you think that is because we are too attached to each other? That's why
There are two.
Is that also because they are too attached to each other? That all these things.
Oh, everything. And sometimes Bhoga Tyaga, sometimes we want to enjoy, sometimes we want to renounce. Our mind is like this. Sometimes we want to be with somebody and don't let him go. Sometimes we don't want to see somebody. Sometimes, especially leadership means you have the chance to build up something, because new gurus means new temples. Srila B.A. Maharaj used to say. So new gurus should be there and new temples should be there. So in this way, these temple presidents, they are also gurus, they are Shiksha gurus. So they want to show it, I can also do it. Some people, they get married and they want to preach as grihastas. So they need a business. And in the business they can also preach. Great. So in this way, we take advantage a little bit of the difficulty or the ego clashes or anything. Krishna takes advantage of it. Just like the internet is such a nasty thing. So many nasty things, the WhatsApp, all these things, they're very, very difficult, very nasty. But they also have incredible features, incredible, wonderful features. So devotees, instead of just simply rejecting the media, says, this is for serving Krishna, only for serving Krishna, don't get wrong, don't use these things wrongly. So dovetailing, Prabhupada used to call it. Sometimes you have to dovetail. Sometimes you have to become a secret agent against Maya, in the world of Maya. One person, he won a great bicycle competition in Colombia. And when he was interviewed, so how did you win this? How? He says, because I'm a vegan and all I eat is Krishna Prasadam. And because I offered my bicycle driving to the Supreme Lord, it is because of him that I could win this competition. And that came out in all the newspapers all around Colombia. And then he said, ah. So he made a lot of effort to win this competition, and then through his competition he could preach to so many. So in this way, dovetailing is very important, to see how to make the best use of a bad bargain. Any other question? This is a touchy, yes, Javier.
Competition comes from judge. You are better than me, or this is better than this. Competition comes from this compare, no? You are better than me, or this is better than this. Competition. Very good. So maybe to don't go into this
what you say? It sounds nice. Okay, let's forget about competition, we are all different. But the point is that in this world, there's positions. And those positions come along with privileges. And not everybody can be the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh. And not everybody can be the prime minister of India. There's such a competition going on because it's only going to be one person. So in this way, the theory that we are all different and we have all a space, it is the conclusion of Krishna consciousness. And in Krishna consciousness, we always want to be the lowest. We don't want to be the highest. Even the guru, he's the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. So he's not saying, hey, I'm the king. The disciples, they give him so much help and facility. But guru, you know, all the gurus in Vrindavan, they're cleaning the Vrindavan and they doing the puja to the deities themselves, and they're doing austerities. So the Vaishnavas, they do not want to be kings. Sometimes in the preaching, we see, like in Kumbh Mela, we see some of the big gurus, the big, like riding on an elephant and coming there. But that is only an external show. Actually, they must be servant of the servant of the servant if they want to sit on this Vyasa. This seat is higher than your seat. That's called Vyasa Asana. I'm sitting here because I'm talking on behalf of Srila Vyasadeva, not because I'm more than you, and therefore I should sit high and you should sit low. It's not like that. So the real devotee is not competing for the top position, he's competing for the lowest position. That's in Krishna consciousness, everything becomes harmonized and peaceful. But the principle of the material world is that everybody's actually envious of the Supreme Lord. In one way or another we are competing with Him, in one way we are even envious of the Infinite. And sometimes people say, the Lord is not giving me what I want. I don't think the Lord exists. I think it's fiction. Man made up the idea that God exists. Actually, I am the Supreme. And then Purnamushika Baba. Down you go. No other question? Anyone from our international audience? Anybody has had a question? No? How many people are listening to us this morning?
Como 15. Como quizás 15.
15. Very nice. I hope you all learn English, because I have to give many English classes in India. Because always we have some friends here who do not speak Spanish, and our Spanish audience has to learn English. This is top priority. So if I speak English in the class, it is not only so that the English-speaking people can understand it, it's also for the Spanish-speaking devotees to learn English. So double purpose. I just wanted to clarify this for you all to know. Please learn English. It's an international preaching language, very much required to deal with volunteers or with anything like that. It's 8 o'clock now.